Hi everyone, and welcome to a brand spanking new episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your hosts, the White Wolf the White Wolf of Wakanda, Kyle Charles,
The Star Spangled Man with a Plan, C.Y. Chung.
and today in this episode we're gonna speak about Marvel Studios' Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which has a name change at the end. But
Yeah, which we won't talk about now
no,
because even though it's obvious,
yeah,
what we'll do is we'll split this into spoilers because some people won't watch these things right away.
No.
Maybe you binge watch it, or maybe like put it together with the other series. Then you buy your Disney Plus for the month and watch everything together.
Yeah.
So we'll do a non-spoiler, and then later on at some during this podcast we will speak about the spoiler bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just keep it safe for the people that haven't seen it.
Yeah. We're thinking.
If for some reason, also, as much as it's everywhere, we'll just try and keep.
We don't be them guys that's 2 seconds in saying, "Can you believe?" Blah blah blah.
Exactly. Even though we don't know how much people will know or won't know because publicity is everywhere.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll just keep it low key.
Yeah. Short and sweet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Overall, non-spoilers.
Yep.
What did you think of the show?
Okay. Story. Right. Story. I thought it was a really good story actually. It did not seem. So it was like roughly about 4.5 hours of live action because you exclude the trailers for the not the trailers, the credits.
Yeah.
For the sequence, right?
Yeah.
Roughly about 4.5 hours show. Yeah, it moved pretty quickly actually. I thought. It had good action when it needed action.
Yep.
It paced its story like there's character beats, character developments, action, but not too over the top sort of action. It's more like a smaller style show. That's not like even Captain America Winter Soldier could have been like a small movie. Yeah. But then they had the helicarriers and all that stuff to make it all larger.
Yeah.
Yeah. This didn't need any of that.
No.
It's just smaller contained. Like the mission itself was kind of small as well, so it kept it within its bounds.
Yes, it really did. It didn't.
Yeah.
It.
I feel like Black Widow is probably going to be larger than it needs to be for the sake of they have the money to do it.
Yeah, of course.
Not saying it'd be bad or good. I'm just saying that some of the bits in Black Widow trailer, there's craziness, and you're like, yeah, but she's a espionage spy that can fight. But yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer, so I have no idea.
Yeah, but no, but there's some craziness in Black Widow, and you're like, right.
The thing is, like, the movies, they always have that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I'm glad they kind of they kept it off this.
Yeah.
Because they didn't need to be.
No.
And with the power levels these characters have, it makes sense that you don't need to be outlandish.
Yeah.
And crazy with it. What did you think of the story?
The story was like you. I thought it was really well done, really good. It like for WandaVision, like for example, I feel like because they added extra episodes in the end, so I felt some of it felt a bit dragged out, but not bad. This is WandaVision we're talking about.
Yeah.
But Captain America. No, sorry. I was about to say Captain America: Winter Soldier, the film. No, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It felt like everything happened for a reason, and it didn't feel like it was forced in.
Yeah, and when I say about pacing as well, I watched it twice actually.
Yeah.
Because I watched it when it came out, individual episode, then I watched it together in a bunch.
Okay.
And it moves pretty quickly. But what it is the episodes, because it's filmed in a proper TV format.
Yeah.
The beginning, you have something, and then you have a cliffhanger at the end of the episode,
yeah.
which then leads to the next episode. That's why things keep on moving quickly.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to see the next episode, you have to resolve the cliffhanger. So it's really well done in that case.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was like, if you watched it as a movie, it'd probably be a bit odd. Because you would never have those cliffhanger sections. You wouldn't not need them necessarily, but it's just, there's no lead in in movie because you've got to watch it for one bunch.
Yeah. Yeah, because of this and WandaVision to a certain extent,
Yeah.
I feel like characters should get like one or two movies, and then depending on which character it is, whatever, the
Yeah.
next one should be like TV series, so you could sort of get more about
Oh,
the character.
and when you say that as well, it doesn't have to be a large set piece kind of
No,
TV
no.
series. Just like small, maybe 1 or 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, like a
depending
3 or
on the
4
length.
episode thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it's 90 minutes long each, then you could have it could be 4 episodes, 3 episodes. But
Yeah.
it's just like something to bring us to certain points, or something they couldn't touch upon the movies because of the
time
time they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or bring other characters to the forefront that are usually in the background, as this is what shows that essentially elevates the side character into being a main character.
Yeah. Yeah, because like...
And a whole bunch of side characters at that as well. Well, we'll get into the individual characters a bit later on, but it takes a bunch of, people that don't have their own movies or weren't the lead of their own movies.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, these are cool players now, yeah.
Yeah, because like, even though Winter Soldier was like a focal point for 2 movies, he wasn't really a main character. He was sort of like the plot device.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And in this, it shows, oh wow, he's not just a killing machine. He actually has problems that he needs to deal with, which you couldn't do in like a 2.5 hour film.
As you are so we'll just talk about character arcs as well.
Yeah.
But not specifically. All right. So as you just went through Bucky, Winter Soldier, I agree with you. It's like he's trying to live a normal life-ish.
Yeah.
But atone for the things that he had done while he was Winter Soldier. So he still is like, that mindset of kind of, I don't want to say necessarily depressed, but more
going through lots of stuff. Yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
But it as an overall thing for his character, is very well done through the entire season.
Yeah.
What do you think of the sort of the same for Falcon? How would you say that? What would
it's
you
the
say?
same with him. Like again, he's in Civil War and Winter Soldier. He's again a sort of a main character, but you don't really learn nothing about him. He's just there.
Yeah.
And this shows that he's a normal human being in a world of gods, really, and like he's got to adjust with that.
Yeah.
And then a good bit in this when you find out as well that they don't get paid. Superheroes don't get paid.
Well,
so it's
wow.
I
mean, I suppose that's not really a spoiler thing. So we'll just have a little bit of a. But yeah, you just assume that Stark paid the Avengers or the Shield paid the Avengers.
Yeah.
But not the government.
No.
Because they're not anything to do with them. Kind of. So yeah, it's like when things fall apart, you're like
You're like, oh.
But no, I think like you're saying, he has a good character arc through the entire thing.
Yeah.
So they wrote him well as well.
Wrote him well.
Yeah.
The stuff with his family.
He's written differently from Bucky. That the more thing is like I've got this. I was passed on the shield. Now what?
Now what do I do with it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, am I worthy of it, or is this what does this represent? And or is it about the man who's behind the shield more than the shield itself?
Yeah,
to save the country, all this other stuff. So, there's a lot of things going on for him as well.
Yeah, him.
Which is good because that's why you need the time, because as we get through the other smaller characters, but that play a major role in the series, they need kind of the time to flesh these people out. What do you think about John Walker? John Walker, and we'll put Lamar as well in there. Which is the replacement Captain America and his cohort Battlestar.
I like the whole John Walker arc. I know a lot of people.
He had
but...
he had quite an arc.
Yeah, and when we get into spoiler sort of territory, I'll go more into it. So I liked his whole story.
Yeah. I mean, he was done well. He was done well for what they were intending to do. Yeah. And he comes off pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Well played, well written, and when he gets murky,
Yeah, even
you're
though,
like,
yeah,
you kind of you go along with it. You're like, yeah, I can see all
yeah,
this.
you can see it.
Um, and Battlestar as well.
Yeah,
It's like,
because he
yeah,
was like
I
sort
can
of
see
his
why
version
you are.
of Falcon.
Sorry.
He was sort of like his version of Falcon, because like he was kind of
Okay,
like
okay. Not to say he right. Not to say he's just the black sidekick.
no, no,
That's
no. I mean
what you
like
meant,
his
right?
moral compass.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I didn't bring anything about the black stuff. Like his
No,
moral
no, no. But
compass.
yeah, he's like the guy who's like, yeah, man, John Walker, you can do this, man. He's
Yeah,
like not his cheerleader necessarily, but it's just like his crux, you know.
yeah. Actually,
His-
he's more like he's Bucky before Steve got the serum, because Bucky always sort of believed in Steve even before he became Captain America.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, and then
So yeah, he was good as well. He
he
was.
was
I
good.
mean, like I can see why the characters did like it. Not that. You can see why the characters don't necessarily like John Walker or Lamar, but
Yeah,
they come off well in the series because you're like as an audience, you're like, yeah, but Falcon, Bucky, you're being a bit dickish to
yeah,
them
yeah.
for
They're
no
just trying to be
reason.
nice.
Yeah.
You guys are
But you
being
can see
dicks. Yeah,
it's just more of like, look, man, this guy's trying to. You can see their point of view, Bucky and Falcons as well. It's like they're saying this guy's Captain America. We know Captain America, and it's just you can't just hand over something to someone else and just say they're them.
yeah, exactly.
So that's why they got beef with them, but not them. It's not them specifically. It's just the government gave it to John Walker and Lamar, and they have the problem of what happened with the transition, Bucky and Winter Soldier,
Yeah,
and then they have a problem with the people because of that. Because
yeah.
they're just like they're Ben, kind of to a degree.
It's rather complicated. It's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of those
yeah.
weird complications. Yeah,
But it's all well done. It's all
yeah,
well done.
pretty good.
Okay. So we'll go for the leader of the flag smashers. We'll call the person, right?
Yeah,
What do you think of that story arc?
it was okay. Like I get her motives, but then like with most things, she started going away from her original tendency. Like
Well, I thought it was kind of consistent with the train of thought
yeah,
to get to that point, and then you get further along that point, and then you get further along, and then to the point where you actually become the car crash.
yeah. And I
Um,
thought that was really well done. Like, oh wow, okay, she's becoming what she hates, really. But
yeah, yeah, but then she's conscious of it as well.
yeah,
She's not like ignorant of it. She at some point it's like, but I thought the individual was well done.
yeah, she's well done.
Though she wasn't as well, I want to say spectacular, showy, or as charismatic as some of the other villains or the characters in this series. But she didn't need to be. That's the point. She's meant to be a bit not lower tier, but yeah, she doesn't need to be in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
The Flag Smashers themselves as a group, essentially, I mean, they're not a
They're not bad guys. They're not good guys.
yeah. But they're not trained as well. They're like a group of ordinary people.
Yeah. So you can see why they go the way they end up going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they got no power. They got no notoriety. They got no. When I say power, I mean like they're not anyone within the government and stuff. They're just guys.
Yeah.
That got screwed over and lashed out
Yeah.
in the way that they kind of need to want to get some problems resolved. Except obviously, when you have no power, when you have no government position, you kind of you do what you can, and then everyone's like pointing fingers at you.
Yep.
But they're kind of, I mean, even though they're more background characters, they're well done in the sense that they're not just there to be there or there to be henchmen. Some of them, they have, they're not necessarily key characters, but they're not just there to be yes men.
Yeah, they're not just cannon fodder either. They're just like
all right.
the putties in Power Rangers or something.
Yeah. So my boy Nemo. Nemo? My boy Zemo. Daniel Bruhl. This guy. Well done.
Yeah.
I was like, so gentlemanly about everything. It's the way he comes across is like, I mean, because as we know, he's Baron. He's a Baron as well.
Yeah.
So he's got money, and then it's like that comes across so much more. Like I don't think they went into his background Civil War. They just were like he was in the military at some point, right?
Yeah.
But he came from money before that, and I wouldn't say it's a retcon or not because they don't go into it for, long enough in Civil War for you to say, oh, now they've changed it here.
Yeah.
But as comic fans know, he's called Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they just come to us. It's really well mannered.
Yeah, and how they've done him, you kind of forget that he's meant to be like some racist. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, I want to say necessarily a racist, but more like he despises people with powers.
yeah, I'm saying so they've kind of went that
power-ish?
way rather than in the comics where he's the Nazi racist.
Yeah, exactly. But it was well done. I enjoyed when
Well
he
done,
was
yeah.
there because he's a smart bastard as he usually is. So
He's always
you
two
know,
steps ahead.
I couldn't say anything bad about him.
Nah. What about
Sharon Carter?
Yeah, I'm glad that they brought her back
Yeah,
because she got the snub in the last
yeah.
two films.
and she was and she was also relevant here as well
Yeah.
to a certain degree, where they needed to get some back channel stuff going on, and she, as you know, she's been on the run since Civil War. So yeah, it makes sense to have her where she is and have her to be their
Yeah,
point man to
Yeah.
a degree, because when they need to find shady channels and they know who to go to. Yeah, and we'll keep that there.
keep that there.
Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, his
I'm glad they brought him
character.
in there. Without for people that don't know, I'm glad they brought him in there. Is all I can
same.
say. I thought maybe they won't or something like that, but he actually was key to certain points of the story, even though he's whatever age he is here.
Yeah,
But he was acted really well, man.
yeah, you felt for him.
Yeah, like he doesn't have a lot of screen time and he's not in a lot of episodes.
No, but every time he's there, you're like, oh wow, man.
Man, that guy's got presence. That
Yeah.
guy has like stature. That guy's got baggage as well.
Yeah, lots of baggage.
Yeah, Carl Lumley. Oh man, he was something, man. he was something. Okay, so last bit before we go into spoilers.
Yep.
What do you think of the costumes?
Costumes are great.
Yeah, so specifically, I like the new design of the Falcon costume, the
Yeah,
red,
same.
and black, and white,
Yeah,
and I can see why they transitioned to that from the movie versions,
yeah,
because they couldn't look mechanical in the movie versions.
yeah,
Wearing, but then there's the transition afterwards as well. So it's like, yep. I can see why, and actually, I think I don't know why the movies never used this red and white and the more, I want to say, comics accurate version.
but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, the more colourful version. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, because these other costume, like the older one, when you think about it now, it didn't really stick out.
No. But then again, they were probably military designed.
Yeah,
However, then the new costume he gets at the beginning of this probably is military designed as well. So it's like, okay, whatever. John Walker's costume wasn't great. No, yeah, but I don't think it was intentionally meant to be, because you're like, this guy's a knockoff, and his costume looks like a knockoff.
yeah,
And in that sense, it was excellent.
yeah. So it's like, and then when something happens later on, they're like, that makes more sense.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bucky's costume is relatively the same, so there's not much to say about that.
Yeah.
But I like my boy. Baron Zemo with his purple hood,
Yeah,
which he only used for one scene.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm like, I hope he was wearing it more, but
Yeah, same. But I guess that was a tease for later on.
and actually it's kind of smart because it was an action scene, so they could have just swapped out probably a stuntman.
Yeah.
For the, I mean, they could hide behind the stuntman, but they should have. I think they could have used it for a couple of more scenes, maybe. It just seemed more like an Easter egg nod than. I mean, because they didn't even need to have that purple face mask thing. They could have just done it without it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good little nod. And like I said, I hope they come back to that in the future.
I do have like how the Flag Smashers helmets are basically plastic
Yeah.
face mask helmets because they don't got money. It
No,
makes sense.
they're tramps. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I guess Lamar's costume as well with it, I mean Battlestar with an actual star on it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
It took me a while to figure that out. I was like, oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
because you know what
star.
it is? It's kind of layered. That's the
Yeah.
issue, and it's a bit okay. I don't know if you watched Smallville all the way to season 10,
Yeah,
but
sadly I did, yeah.
yeah, but Tom Welling' biker jacket costume was just the red biker jacket with edge stamped on it. And it's just like, well, from a distance or a certain point, you're not even going to be able to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's engraved stamp. So same with Battlestar here, like because it's black as well. Have the light going to hit that you can see is a actual
Yeah.
star. But it was alright. It was alright for what he needed. He was the gear. John Walker and Battlestar look like the gear they have is military kind of gear. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
It goes with what they represent. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's probably this. I mean, I'd say definitely watch it.
Yeah.
And watch the series. Never slugged. You have some surprising characters in it, and some genuinely good story arcs. The time that it took, it kind of was needed.
Yeah. Like I
So,
said before, I don't think it never felt like it outstayed its welcome.
mm, mm. Okay, do you want to get into spoilers?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Okay, so at this point, yeah, spoilers. So
Yeah, spoilers, yeah. So after my countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Yeah. Um,
okay, well, how do you want? Where do you want to start? And let's not go through the entire thing because I'll just rush through like the basics of it, right?
yeah, we just go through things that we've thought.
Okay, so Falcon is struggling with
Yeah.
the weight of being Captain America after handing the shield, and he decides to
Give it
I don't know
back.
if they want to say that Steve Rogers actually died or something because they got a final mission there.
Yeah,
How did they know people? He went back to give the time stones to, I mean, the Infinity Stones to whatever, right? And that means the whole world knows that the Avengers have made time travel. So kind of what? Anyways,
yeah.
he never came back from the final mission, right?
Yeah,
Whatever final mission that could have been. I think they kind of keep it vague enough that it could be anything. So we don't know if he actually died or not or whatever, right?
yeah. Or we say retired. Yeah.
So
Living on the moon.
here's the thing, right? At the end of Endgame,
Yeah,
Steve passes the shield to Sam Wilson, right?
yeah,
And Sam Wilson accepts it.
yeah.
So by the next Avengers movie, he's got to be Captain America, all right?
Yeah,
But if he accepts it at the beginning of this series and actually continues Captain America, they wouldn't have the series.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
So they kind of had to come up with a reason why he kind of gave away the shield, but or didn't accept it right away because that's the whole point of what the series is about.
yeah,
So it was like a bit dodgy how he kind of gave it up for the memorial. I thought, but hey, if it led to the series, I can accept it.
but I can see why he gave it.
Oh no,
'cause-
no. Well, yeah, but I only mean because that Endgame, it was when he accepted it was like a definitive. Yeah, I got it. I'll do my best.
Yeah,
Rather than something like I'm not so sure how I'm gonna handle it.
because like you got to sit is this moment. Like in real life, say someone goes, "Oh yeah, I want you to." Hey, you're responsible for this. You're like at the moment you're like, yeah, sure, okay, and then you go home and think about it, like, you know what, maybe I'm not, and then
Yeah, that's fair enough. I suppose maybe. Yeah, I suppose, but he's sort of like.
and you got to think about this. If Captain America gave you the shield, like say
Yeah.
you was in that position, you'd be like, yeah, sure, it's Cap. You're not gonna say
Oh.
no, are you?
All right. That's fine. I suppose. I mean, look, I accept it, and the more you talk me into it, the more I think, all right. But then again, I'm thinking they shouldn't have made it so definitive at the end of Endgame, just so
But in Endgame, he never actually said, yeah, I'll be Captain America. He just took the shield. He said, I accept the shield. He didn't say, I accept being Captain
I'll do my
America.
best. All right, that's fair enough. your lawyer wordery. Yeah, you lawyered your way around me.
See,
Fair enough. But yeah, so he gives the shield, and then when the Flag Smashers start causing trouble, the government's like, "Oh, yeah, we got the shield.
Yeah.
We could present a new symbol of our country.
Yeah.
Captain America.
The thing is, I swear it was like a day later they just took the
Yeah,
shield
yeah,
back and they said, "Yay,
yeah.
here's Captain
Yeah,
America."
it made the government seem so shady.
Yeah.
And why couldn't they just call Sam Wilson back? Go, by the way, you're on our payroll for whatever jobs you do. Do you mind?
Yeah.
I mean, you got the shield. You got handed the shield. Do you want to just? No, they're like, no, we need a. I'm not to say it was a conscious thing because John Walker's a white man, anyways.
Yeah.
In the so, but they're like, oh yeah, okay, we'll get a guy who looks more like Captain America to be Captain America.
Like,
I think there's more of a copy and paste scenario.
Yeah, it was because of like his military record and stuff like that. So it sort of made sense. But they could at least, like you said, rang like Sam says, by the way, you don't mind if we give the shield to this dude, you know?
Yeah, that would have resolved a lot of things. But then again, but you know, you would have made the series so much smaller.
Yeah, exactly. And also, we forgot
why they didn't bubble saying Bucky, hey, we're going to give him the shield camera because he's the murderer. Even though he's got part, he's like, this guy's a bit of a
loose cannon.
Yeah.
We also forgot to mention that War Machine was in this.
Oh yeah, for a split second, yeah.
Yeah.
Though they needed War Machine for Sam to verbalize why he was worried about giving the shield away.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Well, that was a good little secret because
normally
things like that, they tell you that we've signed this actor to be in this film because this blah 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 blah. You know, Marvel have habits doing that.
Yeah, but the other thing as well is actually kind of funny as well. Is War Machine's kind of got the legacy of Tony Stark behind him as well, so it's kind of
which I'm surprised they didn't sort of mention Tony being dead in this as well. But then I guess that's something they don't want to talk
about. Well, I mean, War Machine's getting its own series, so then we'll touch there. But yeah, so the new Captain America, John Walker. Falcon gets a lead on the Flag Smashers. Bucky's like, look, you gave away the shield, right? And Falcon's like, oh, I can't do it with that, so we've got Flag Smashers to deal with, right?
Yeah.
They look like they got the powers of super soldiers and stuff like that. So deal with them first. We'll do about the shield afterwards. Because, they're not going to cause any damage with the shield. Right? And literally, he's by the government. You can only do so much.
Yeah.
Okay. And these people are actually causing crimes. So they get in a fight. They get they try to stop the Flag Smashers, and they get whooped because they get swarmed by like 5 super soldiers.
Yeah,
all enhanced, right? Because they're not literally buffed up super soldiers, but they have got the abilities of super soldiers.
Yeah, they haven't got the same. I want to say they were on the level of like Bucky and his super serum.
Yeah.
5 of them against 1.
2,
of course.
Yeah. And 5 against 1 super soldier and 1 guy with tech.
Yeah.
So and on moving trucks as well.
Yeah, that's definitely.
So it's like, So I can see why they were on the back foot for any type thing. But then when John Walker comes in there,
my boy,
they tracked the Vulcan's tech.
Yeah.
And he's doing really well. He's actually handling himself really well. Throws the shield like he's taken out some of these super soldiers and he's just been an ordinary man. I was like, wow. They're doing good with this guy because even before that, when they do the show to interview this guy, John Walker, Captain America, he comes across really well.
Yeah, he does.
And just before that as well, you can see he's like struggling with not the legacy, but it's like
the pressure.
But when he comes out, he's like, I'm a nice charismatic guy, man.
Yeah,
I'm good. Yeah. It's like. Not necessarily the people that step up, but more like, look, man, my baggage is going to go behind all of this legacy right now. I need to be the best Captain America I can be. Anyway, he comes across like, starts to do better than Super Soldier Bucky and experienced Falcon.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out a gun as well when he sees like these guys are, can handle themselves, not like in a fight because they're like normal people, but the swarm.
Yeah.
And the enhanced abilities is like, let me just pull out a gun. I'm like, you know what? Good on you. You maybe should have put out the gun very quickly.
Because
Because
when he did that, it reminded me
To be fair, he didn't go for kill shots or anything like that. He just went to disable with the gun. Maybe he had the taser or some shit like that, but whatever.
Because that bit reminded me of Captain America: The First Avenger. You know when Cap just broke. There's a bit in it where he kicks down the door and starts shooting people.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, World War II was crazy.
but yeah. So he when Battlestar gets knocked off the trucks. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Bucky gets knocked down near the wheels of the truck, and Falcon swoops down and saves him. Yeah. So they're eliminated from the fight.
Battle. Yeah.
And then Battlestar gets kicked off, and John Walker throws his shield to catch Battlestar on the ground.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
So when he doesn't splat on the floor.
Yeah.
Then he himself is now fighting. Not necessarily fighting, right?
Getting
There's
pummeled.
5 soldiers and just one ordinary trained military guy.
Yeah.
It's push kicked right off the truck. It lands on the car bonnet, luckily.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay. You can see the power difference.
When I saw this bit, this was like, this is where they're setting this guy up to fail. Because Steve's whole thing wasn't the power, it was his will, whatever, that made him Captain America. But he had the power as well. Yeah. John Walker doesn't have that. So you're like, you're putting too much pressure on this guy already. And he's can only go down at this point, you know what I mean? It's not like...
It's like, if it's a machine, he's got all the pieces. Yeah. Right? But he doesn't have the actual mechanics.
Yeah.
So... And here's the other thing, actually. Did you ever watch the trailers?
I think I watched the first trailer and that was about it.
Right. So, in the trailers, Sam has the shield.
Yeah.
Right. So, if this episode, if he gives away the shield at the beginning, how does he come to have it at the end? Yeah. It's like, okay, well, there's only 2 things that can happen, right? Yeah. John Walker gets beat up and eliminated. Yeah. Or something like that. Or he goes evil and they take the shield from him. That's the kind of only 2 ways can really go. Yeah. Like, because you say he's set up to fail.
Yeah, from the start.
Yeah. So they deal with that, and then that's when you get the idea that, so Bucky and Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier are walking back to the base, which is like 20 miles away. John Walker and his military jeep drives up to them. Come on, get in, guys. Come on, man. Don't be
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was like, you know what? They make him out to be such a good guy. Yeah. A decent man. And then but then he kind of like is, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, again as well, like the whole setting up the fail, if Bucky and Sam were kind of like, all right, we'll give thanks for the lift, and like weren't just being cold to him. Yeah. He wouldn't go. He might have not went completely the way he went at the end.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because even after that, they have a bit more. Like there's a bit of a section later on where it's like, look, we should just team up the 4 of us. We can take them.
We can do this.
Except that Bucky and Winter Soldier like, no. We're free. Look, you guys are with the military and government. You got stuff that you can and cannot do. We're free agents. We can do whatever we want. So we're just going to cross lines so many not cross. We're going to clash heads on certain things. So it's better if we don't. Except that you're fighting super soldiers, and there's like 8 of them. Mm-hmm. There's 4 of you, and only 1 of you guys is a super soldier. So really,
they could have just said, all right, we'll work with you, but we got to pretend we can't work with you because, like you said, the whole you have rules that you got to buy, we don't. So, you know.
So they've got to find a way to fight the Flag Smashers now. Yeah. Okay, the way they're working as Isaiah Bradley is like, okay, well, look, Bucky's like, okay, so we've lost our lead on the Flag Smashers, but I know a super soldier. I know a guy, right? And this guy might help us find the guys behind them. Yeah. And Bucky's like, what do you mean? And Bucky's like, come, trust me.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
So he leads to Isaiah Bradley's house. who was a super soldier in Vietnam,
Yeah.
who had the fight with Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
who, when you look at it this way as well, he tore off Bucky's metal arm.
Yeah.
Well, tore off half or whatever, and whooped his ass according to, you know how it could be an exaggeration, but look at it this way. Winter Soldier in Civil War had a clash with, he dealt with Falcon, right? Yeah. When he was brainwashed and breaking out, dealt with Falcon right off. Then he had a little clash with Captain America, pushed him down the lift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he beat up a whole bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents.
Yeah.
Beat up unarmed Tony Stark.
Yeah. Beat up
Agent Black 13, Widow. Sharon Carter, and Black Widow at the same time, yeah?
And Black Panther.
Yeah, and then he clashed with Vibranium Armored Black Panther. Yeah. So it's like, that guy was a machine. Yeah. With that Winter Soldier programming, he just was on like a mission to get out there, and he did it. He did it. I mean, like, only find the people that only having extended fight was people that were in his way. Yeah. But once he got away from Black Panther, he was just like, I'm going to get away. Now, if Bradley could take on this guy.
Yeah. That's saying something.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, they wrote him in there, which made sense.
Yeah.
And then his was more like, look, I was a black man helping the world.
Yeah. Right? Look what he did to me.
Exactly. They when they realized that the super soldier suit, they tested all black men because they think we're expendable, or whatever, right? And then he's like, after I rescued all my brothers who were also being experimented on, I mean, the people that got experimented on, and then they got sent to war. So when they went to Vietnam and got captured, he rescued them all back.
Yeah, because the military thought they were expendable.
Yeah, and then when he got them all back, they died not too long afterwards because of the experimentations anyway. And then they captured Zy Bradley because he's the only one that's still alive. The US military, his own side. And they started cutting into him and testing on him for 30 years.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's why he's bitter. He's bitter
and it makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly. Bitter at his treatment, but at everything.
Yeah. And especially when he was locked up, his wife died. So another reason for him to be super bitter and hate.
But they went to him because it's like they were trying to work it out. If there's a super soldier serum out there, and and maybe it came from the testing of his DNA, or something like that, or maybe we can get a lead on something because he knows military stuff as well. Yeah, and he basically says, Bucky, even though I whooped your ass years ago, your people, you should look inside because they're the likely ones to do this stuff. And it's not like, and they clarify, it's not Bucky as in the white people, it's Bucky Hydra.
Yeah.
People, Winter Soldier stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where they get the lead. Is there a particular thing you want to go on about before we get onto that bit?
No. Oh, was that for that odd bit afterwards with the police? And you're like, ooh, that is a bit iffy. But then it kind of brought around like, oh no, we're not here for you, Sam. We're here for Winter Soldier.
Yeah. So they have a little. I mean, the Sam Wilson is rightfully angry at Bucky for saying, how can you keep a secret for years, right? This guy, super soldier out there, and the way he's been treated as a black man.
Yeah.
And Bucky's like, look, man, he's suffered enough and don't want to bring any more attention to the guy.
Yeah.
And then the police come along. Sir, is this guy causing you trouble? And Falcon's like, no, we're just having a conversation. And he goes, and then they go to Bucky. So is this man causing you trouble? And you're like, oh no, man. But then they're like, oh, he's an Avenger. So
yeah, then their whole attitude changes. Like, oh,
yeah, but Bucky was like, no, we're not. He's not causing me any trouble, anyways. But you know how it, cause a scene for, I don't want to say no reason, but you kind of like, it's there.
Yeah.
Because there's an underlying race issue that runs through the entire series as well.
Yeah.
And not like a negative race issue thing, just like, oh, okay, to the legacy of Captain America is going to be passed on to a man of color, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Especially even the way they've been treated before the war and all this other stuff. So it's kind of relevant, and it's also very relevant to Isaiah Bradley's story as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't there just to be there, but though it did stick out.
Yeah.
So they arrest Bucky because he.
He's missing his therapy sessions. He's court mandated therapy sessions.
So it was kind of, oh yeah, well, fair enough. But this is where Walker bails them out, and you're like, okay,
again, being a nice guy.
Yeah, and that's where he says, oh, we need to work together, and that's when Winter Soldier and Bucky go like, no, we actually don't.
Yeah.
And then he's like, stay out of my way then. I'm like, you guys, Bucky and Winter Soldier, you're kind of making this guy turn on you.
Yeah.
Like you said, you should just like, okay, we should, but we should pretend we're not. So every time we're seen in public, just pretend we're a little bickering, right?
Yeah.
Fist bump, let's go on.
Yeah, if you find any information, you tell us. We find any, we tell you. Fist bump, boom, we're friends.
Yeah, because we're all on the same side after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this is
Bucky
when they go and break out Zemo, isn't it?
Oh no, Zemo breaks himself out because he's so damn good.
That's it, yeah.
Bucky causes one scene in the prison.
Yeah.
And then Zemo breaks himself out.
Yeah, that was it.
And yeah, but how he appeals to Zemo is like, look, you want to kill all these super soldiers. You hate people with powers, right?
He's like, yeah,
that's
true.
There's flag smashers about. They got super soldiers. Just help us eliminate them. Do.
Yeah.
And he's like, fair enough. Which is good because that's kind of consistent with his character.
Yeah.
I don't know if he hates people with powers in particular, but he definitely hates super soldiers.
Yeah. Actually, I think he hates everyone, doesn't he? Yeah.
Well, he just seems to have more beef with Captain America. Those kind of, powered humans.
No, like, yeah. Well,
to be fair, it's not relevant to anyone else's story, so they don't really go that far.
Yeah. Because they hate, because of what the Avengers did, that's why he hates all superhero powers, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's true. But he's mostly been dealing with just Captain America as well, so we can't really...
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah. He helps them. They go to Madripoor.
Yeah. And this is where people's like, the X-Men is going to be in it because Madripoor's in the X-Men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Yeah. They go to Madripoor. They get help from Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
To find out where the super soldier serum is being created from.
Yeah.
They go to that guy's lab. And yeah. They get a little bit of information that Zemo shoots him in the head. Because he's Zemo, right? He's going to eliminate the guy so he can't create any more super soldier serum.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what?
2 steps ahead.
Bad news. He did exactly what he would do.
Yeah.
He should do in that situation. And then at the end of that episode 3, you find out Bucky finds out they're being stalked by the Wakandans, the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh dear. Oh dear.
And then
but they're like, no, you got a problem. You got 8 hours to resolve it, and then we're coming for Zemo.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay,
that's it.
Cool.
Yeah, because he did kill our king, and you can't, and if we can't, you guys can't take us. That's gonna be at the end of the day,
It was good. That episode was good. Also, they had that funny little interaction. Is it next one on Zemo's plane where he's?
Oh yeah. That's yeah. Well, yeah. Go on. Tell him.
Yeah. And before I get to that bit, and this is where we find out they, like we said earlier, where they sort of retcon, but not retcon his lineage, where he's a baron and he comes from money and that stuff.
Yeah.
So they're on a plane and Sam's like to Bucky, you need to sort of, chill out, have a life. And he's like, I do have a life. I like music. He goes, oh, so you got Steve's book, right? The one that I gave him to write his thing. He goes, no. Well, yeah, I have, but I haven't done anything with it. He goes, oh, so you haven't listened to Journeyman? And then Zemo goes, yeah, it's a very good song. It talks about the struggles of a African-American man. It's very good. And then Sam's like, that's slightly racist, but you have a point?
Yeah. But Zemo's not saying it to be racist.
No.
He's just saying because he's cultured.
Yeah.
So, and he's just saying this represents this particular section in time for these people as well.
Yeah. It's just how he says it, because he's like sort of how he's deadpan says it. You're like,
well, he does say it as gently kind of as possible.
Yeah.
As he would say, not so like for the verbalist that he was saying, it was like it sounds like, what do you mean, bro? but you're not wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the other funny bit.
Yeah. So episode 4, the whole world is watching, is what it's called, because this is like the downfall of John Walker episode.
Yes.
I would have liked a bit more in episode, like some more of John Walker in episode 3.
Yeah.
Just to lead into this a bit more.
Yeah.
Because they work out where the Carly Montagu is, and she's the leader of the Flag Smashers. So that sounds like and then obviously through backdoor shenanigans, John Walker and Lamar find Zemo, Winter Soldier, and Falcon.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, and the three of them like hold them and say, we found these people, right? Let me go. Sounds like I was a counselor. Let me go and talk to her.
Yeah.
Right? We could probably resolve this without any. We find out what she's after. Then we can resolve the issue probably without violence, right? Because they have super soldiers and ordinary people, so this might not go well for us, anyways, right?
Yeah.
And John Walker at this point is like, I am Captain America. No, he's not that aggressive. But he's like, look, man, I'm Captain America. We should do what I say, kind of.
Yeah.
Trying to come across as like an authoritative vibe.
Yeah.
It's like this is not the place all the time for that kind of thing.
Yeah, but he's also
these people want to fight.
Yeah, but he's also feeling this way because at the beginning of the episode he got taken for like an idiot by the Wakandans. So yeah, so he's eager.
No, that's a bit later.
No, I thought is it?
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, no,
that's why Ego gets bruised because of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Dora Milaje come in there.
Yeah.
And John Walker's like, look, John Walker, Captain America, I'm sure we can help resolve these issues. You want Zemo, but we need him right now. And they're like, shut your mouth, boy.
Let's fight everyone.
Yeah. And but to be fair, there's 3 of them. And there's Lamar and John Walker who just have a vibrating shield between them.
Yeah.
And they rightly did get whooped because you're like the Dora Milaje is like the elite royal guard.
Yeah.
And these guys, I don't want to say are military guys, but they fight.
They fight a different way from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's I want to say it's one of those things. Okay, when I was watching Spartacus, Blood and Sand, they're saying the difference between a soldier and a gladiator. They attack in different ways.
Yeah.
And that's the same here.
Yeah.
It's like they're soldiers. They're on the battlefield. They're used to like surroundings and stuff like that. But when you just find people one-on-one with actual confined space with actual strategy and teamwork, is kind of like, and not the weapons that you usually would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got done.
Ass kicked.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that's where we get to put you was on. Sorry about that. So
Yeah. No, I thought that was at the end of the episode, but you're right. It was before that.
Yeah.
So Sam tries to talk to Carly, and John Walker's like, "Look, I'm arresting you, Zemo." So he handcuffs him to the thing, and then it's goes to Bucky. Look, man, I said I'd give him 10 minutes, but they might be tearing him apart in there.
Yeah.
Even though you're not hearing any sounds, like, they might beat him to death, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we better go down there and see what's up. And he comes in there, tries to arrest the girl right away. She thinks Sam's betrayed him. They run off, and Zemo, because he's the man, he uncuffs himself.
Yeah.
He tracks down Carly before everyone else in the same building.
Yeah.
But then again, you could just say he's a bad guy, thinking in the bad guy style, he can kind of work out where they would go.
Yeah.
They're trying to chase because they don't know what they're following.
Yeah. Exactly.
So he intercepts and he sees the super soldier serum, shoots Carly so she keeps away from them.
Yeah.
Stomps on most of the super soldier serum before John Walker.
Except for one.
Yeah. John Walker shield bashes Zemo.
Yeah.
And grabs the super soldier serum. And then he's like, that's when the wheels are clicking in his head. Should I or should I not? But he just puts it in his pocket for now.
Yeah.
And
then this is where more health breaks loose and they're fighting in that little room. I can't remember what sort of room it is. And then this.
Oh no! No, the Dora Milaje fight is after this bit.
Is it?
Yeah, it's slightly after because then he gets the serum, right? John Walker gets the serum. Dora Milaje then beat him up, as we
Oh
said.
yeah.
And then he
You're right.
goes,
Yeah.
they weren't even super soldiers, just realized how outpowered he, not necessarily outpowered, right?
Yeah.
But how his experience is not the same
Yeah.
as everyone else. But you could say Wakandan tech as well. So
Yeah.
to be fair, they won't even use much Wakandan tech, but you could just say they probably the clothing or whatever, it's got that vibranium weaved into it or something. And they are the elite fighters as well. That's when it pushes John to be like, so he has a little talk with Battlestar saying, if you had serum, would you take it? And Battlestar's like, the serum only makes people more of what they are. If you're a good man, it makes you even better, right? So, and we could have used the serum back in the day when we were in the army, when so many of our people died. And John Walker's like, yeah. And you can see it's not like he has PTSD or something like that. It's like some dark history there from just the facial expressions, and the acting. There's no flashbacks or nothing, but you can just see there's something sketchy did happen in the past, man.
Yeah.
And they lost, they must have lost a lot of men because it's affecting him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Broken man.
Yeah. Then Carly, leader of Flag Smashers, calls Sam to a meeting and said, "Look, we can talk this out. I know something happened back there, right?
Yeah.
But come here. We can chat about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's
between
it.
us, right? But it's actually a plan because it's a plan to kill John Walker and Lamar.
Yeah.
For what they represent, because they the backstory for Carly is she's trying to help the people of downtrodden. Now that okay, so half the world disappeared.
Yeah, after the
5 years later, and they all came back. So all the facilities they had, and all the vaccines and all that other stuff, all the aid, right? They had excess before, and now they have minimal because you got so much more people to give it to.
Yeah,
as well as speed and distribution is being narrowed by, I want to say the governments, but their countries,
Yeah, and also that a lot of the people who were refugees and stuff before the blip, got the peoples who disappeared in the blitz like houses and stuff, so they were sort of like taken care of. But then when the people came back, government's like, you guys need to leave now because these people are back and
exactly.
So it's like now.
Yeah, exactly. We don't care about you no more. And like we were saying before, when the little people get trodden on, they kind of fight back in an awkward fashion.
Yeah.
Because they've got no other tools to do it with.
Yeah.
She actually blows up a facility.
Yeah, this is where she starts taking a turn.
Yeah. She blows up a facility with people in it still.
Yeah.
Just to send a message. It was like, and even one of her Flag Smasher codes was like, there was people in there. And she's like, this is the only language people understand. So it's like, you're going a bit too far now.
Yeah.
But then again, we get to our boy John Walker as well, who also is about to go too far.
But his one's justifiable, and I'll say why after it happens.
Yeah. So, so Carly calls Sam, and then Sharon Carter's like, Sam, that is a trap to lead you away from John Walker because they're going to try and murder him.
Yeah.
Right. So what they did, the Flag Smashers capture Battlestar to keep him out of the fray because they really just only want to get rid of John Walker.
Yeah.
Or what John Walker represents government-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, okay, you know what? You got your symbol here to try and stop us. We're going to take down your symbol. You see how powerful we are. All right. Which is logical, but then again,
but stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So, and even more stupid is like, so they attack John Walker, right?
Yeah.
And the one dude who's the the Flag Smasher, just gets front kicked right out through the doors down a hallway.
Yeah.
Because John Walker's now taking the serum and he's just not swaggering there, but he's just like, yo, right?
Yeah.
I'm out now because the Flag Smasher rips like a pipe from the wall.
Yeah.
Or steel banister or whatever. And John Walker just catches it and bends it in half. And this guy just, even through the mask, through the acting in his eyes, is just like,
oh no.
Right. Yeah.
He's one of us now. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just shows you the difference, by the way, from untrained people versus trained people.
Yeah.
With the same power set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because before he was having trouble with them. And now he's just like, I'll make a mockery of all these people. But then, Sam and Bucky run over there to help John Walker and Lamar.
Yeah.
And they're acquitting themselves quite well, considering. Bucky as well being super soldier and Shane just taking down, like, beating up two free flag smashers at once.
Yeah.
And even though Sam's having trouble with one, you got to think, I mean, he's an ordinary guy with a Falcon suit.
Yeah.
So, and he's not fighting as dirty as he should be, probably.
No, exactly. Yeah, he should be fighting for his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's still fighting to contain rather than, I mean, because really, what was to say he can't just clothesline someone with his wings and stuff like that? Just chooses not to.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily decapitate.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, if he was fighting for survival rather than containment, like you're saying, you just decapitate someone, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, not necessarily these super soldiers, but if you ran into an ordinary guy, probably could decapitate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Probably take the hit and drop. But anyways, John Walker's like getting all nuts because he can now, you know. But then they start swarming him and they hold him, and Lamar gets away from his cuffs, jumps in to stop Carly stabbing John Walker.
Yeah.
They tumble on the floor a little bit, and then Carly just straight up punches Lamar, who goes flying into a pillar.
Yeah.
And he, like, I don't know, broken back, broken neck, his head crashed into the pillar, whatever, but the pillar cracks.
Yeah.
And
so basically,
slumps down.
His insides are like obliterated, liquefied from that.
He's bleeding from the mouth. So whatever happened, he's basically finished.
Yeah.
And then you can.
Yes.
Do you want
And John Walker sees that his best friend is dead, and I sympathise with this one, and I've said this to a lot of people. If this happened to me, I'll do the exact same thing. So he chases down the flag smashers, but Carly gets away, and he chases one into the center of the city they're in, and he just starts like pummeling him, and the guy goes, well, I surrender, I wasn't the one who did it. And then John's like, I don't care, and just gets the shield and just bludgeons him to death.
Well, here's the thing. It's not even the flat side of the shield. It's the edge of the shield.
Edge, exactly.
And I don't know. I mean, the way it looks like, the way it's come down, it could have been a decapitation straight up and went for the guy's neck, but it looked like he caved his chest in the way that I was.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Well, either way, he split the guy in half, probably.
Yeah, literally, yeah. But
and it was all filmed in front of a crowd, like you know how people are when there's a massive fight. Also, when there's Captain America or celebrity, or whatever, they get their phones out, and literally, there's no escape from it. No. The whole world of them just murder someone. Yeah.
And this is when, like, I personally think he did nothing wrong.
Well, okay, no, but there's two ways to go about it. But like the serum, they make it clear that the serum's causing a bit of issues as well.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of mental issues with the pressure of being Captain America. Being a soldier and seeing the stuff he saw on the battlefield as well.
It's not helping.
And then his best friend being killed.
Yeah.
And there's been, even though he's supposed to hold up the legacy of Captain America, he's been disrespected by everyone.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone, but he's got a government with the backing, right? The people that chose him, but not the people that didn't choose him, you know?
And plus,
so there's a lot of issues
are putting pressure on him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see, and he kind of just snapped because, there's lots of things going on there.
Yeah.
And I want to say whether he's right or wrong, because it's just more of, he didn't get the right person. If he got the right person, he'd be like, fair enough. But because he got captured on film, and he got the wrong person, and that person surrendered, it kind of tips both ways.
Yeah, because it's a war crime because of his surrender. Yeah. But like,
exactly.
I personally,
you can fight with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying to my friend as well. It would have, if he didn't get caught doing it.
Yes.
The government would have been fine with it. It's because they caught him. They're like, we need to distance ourselves from it.
Yeah. If it was in like a secluded warehouse, and even if it was, say, he caught the leader, if he got Carly there, and he did that, then they probably could say, look, it was the leader of the Flag Smashers, right?
Yeah.
There was a lot of things that she did wrong, bombed a lot of people, killed a lot of people, whatever, right?
Yeah.
He did what he had to in the heat of battle.
Yeah.
But because it's like a dude who surrendered and he wasn't even the right person.
Yeah.
And he got caught, they can't really sweep under the carpet.
Yeah. And then like we get to the next episode as well. Like, They don't even like when he's in the court and they're basically saying, "Yeah, you're discharged for your actions." Blah blah blah. They don't even offer to help him or anything. They just throw him out. So you can see again why it would make him go.
Before we get to that, right?
Yeah.
You just skip the section where Bucky and Falcon.
Yeah.
They're like, look, man, Walker, like now he's just somehow gone up to like a secluded area.
Yeah.
Right. And Bucky and Falcon like, Walker, man, give up the shield. You like, you can't.
Oh, yeah, I feel about this part. Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff that you did, you just murdered that guy. We can probably help you, but you need to calm down.
Yeah.
Hand me over the shield. And they're like, Walker's like, no, I got you. You just want the shield. You want it back. You want to be Captain America. You want to take this away from me. Everything I worked for. No, it ain't gonna happen. I'm a super soldier now. I can do whatever I need to keep what I want.
Yeah.
And I thought at this point, like, he's taken them both on, right?
Yeah.
And then he takes Bucky out of commission. Like, I don't want to say an old-fashioned, but basically, Bucky grabs they're trying to fight for the shield, and he slings Bucky away.
Yeah.
And Bucky hits a pillar, which then has electrics. So I don't know if it's electrocuted his arm.
Yeah, it shorts out his arm for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, or electrocute Bucky himself to take him out of commission for a bit. Either case, right, they needed to have him out for a second so Sam could fight him, fight John Walker. And I thought, oh, okay, so what they're going to do is pass on the legacy because Sam is going to win the fight somehow against the super soldier with his tech.
Yeah.
And take the shield. Even though that's not the way he went, I was like, oh, okay, that's why he took Bucky out of commission.
Yeah.
No, it turns out John Walker still managed to nearly chop off, he ripped off Falcon's wings.
Yeah.
Even though he was doing pretty well, pretty decently against guys that's overpowered.
Yeah.
And then he tried to cut off Falcon's head as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, he's got lucky for him. Bucky wakes up in time and spears John Walker. And then so John Walker's going to try and decapitate or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Bucky's pushing away from the shield with his mechanical arm, and then Sam grabs the shield and jets away as well in the same direction.
Yeah.
So it's only John Walker's one arm against, a whole lot of force.
Yeah.
And I tell you what's funny as well. When his arm cracks, it's not a sick crack. It's just like, because it breaks for the grip.
Yeah.
John's like, I am Captain America. But then when he breaks his arm, he whines.
Yeah.
Like it's hurt. And I was like, oh, so they're going to make him seem a bit of a, not a loser necessarily, but just like, okay, a bit pathetic.
Yeah.
But I think that's the vibe they were going for because later on it goes into as well. So it's like, you don't need to side with this guy. He's a bit of an out of control maniac. But so Falcon and Winter Soldier do a great double team maneuver.
Yeah.
Bucky just grabs John Walker and slings him as Slam flies towards John Walker with the shield, and they do like shield smash.
Yeah.
Like a Captain America's move from a video game.
Yeah.
What's it called? Charging Star.
Yeah, Charging Star. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, and well done. But yeah, and then they go on to the bit with the court case that you're saying.
Yeah, where they just throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh. But they're in a situation where they kind of need to do it.
Yeah, to stay facing
because
it.
of course they actually need to do it. It's because he got caught.
Yeah, because then if they didn't get caught,
yeah,
they'd been like, yeah.
But then when he goes, I am Captain America, and his voice breaks.
Yeah,
that's what I was like. Yeah, they're making him seem like a whiner,
Well, not a whiner, but you guys. Well, I get what you mean, but
they kind of flip you onto the side of this guy is not the guy you should be cheering for.
Yeah.
Because then there's something relevant later on, and then you start going, okay, maybe this guy is a good man after all.
Yeah, because he is a good man. He's just for
fail. Yeah. So then after that, Bucky goes like Zemo's escaped.
Yeah.
And he's gone to the Memorial Sokovia.
Yeah. And
Bucky finds him there and goes, yeah, Zemo. I mean, your time has come, right?
Yeah, he needs to go back.
Fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Tima's like, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I just came here to say to pay my respects and stuff like that. So, yeah, the Dora Milaje come and get him.
Yeah.
And then they're like to Bucky, look, we'll put him back to the raft, right? They don't need to be in Wakanda. Just he needs to be in jail. We'll let it slide, like for now. We won't, not like we'll let it slide, but like look, imprison him's enough, right?
Yeah, which makes sense.
And Bucky's like, oh, yeah. Do you mind us helping me with one thing though? I need a little bit of a favor.
Yeah.
And then you find out what their favor is, but he's basically just asked them to create a Captain America suit for Falcon.
Yeah.
And a new wing set.
Yeah.
With advanced tech.
Made out of vibranium.
Yep. John Walker's approached by Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fonte.
Yeah.
For some shady shenanigans.
I don't even know who that character is.
She was so back in the really old series, I think in the 70s or something, like late 70s. She's basically a character in the Nick Fury, it was in the Nick Fury Shields series.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say I know exactly what it is, but it's more like there's some spy background to her.
Okay, cool.
Or government shadiness, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So Sam goes back to visit Isaiah. Sam with the shield goes to visit Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah.
Isaiah Bradley is like, no, keep that thing away from my face. I don't want to see it. And this is where you get into more history, like you were saying before. Isaiah Bradley's wife died. He's got experimented for 30 years. A nurse took pity on him and wrote that he died from all the experimentation so he could get away.
Yeah.
And you can see why he's so bitter about everything, or how they treated him. He goes, no self-respecting black man would be Captain America. But he's talking from an individual standpoint after all what they did to him.
Yeah.
It's like, you can see clearly he doesn't mean... He's speaking from his experience and then grouping everyone's experiences with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but... I mean, like... I think Sam went over there to kind of get a bit of a... Look, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think about it? You are super soldier. You did help them, and he's like, go. No. Look what they did to me. What do you think I would?
What makes you think I would want anyone else to go through what happened to me?
Yeah. Or or do you think I'm just going to give you my approval after all the shit that I went through?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That kind of like stalls. I want to say stalls Sam's thought progress, but he's just like, you know what? It's true. Maybe I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know. It's he kind of my mind is still 50-50, and thanks to him, it's still 50-50.
Yeah, yes. He's like, you feel like okay, I thought I was get what I needed out of this guy, but now I'm just back to square one.
Yeah. So Bucky comes over to Sam at Louisiana where he is.
Yeah.
And look, I got this package for you, boy.
Yeah.
I didn't do with you what you want, but here it is, yeah. And he's like, all right, I'll tell you what. Let me teach you how to use the shield, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And just have a conversation about what it represents and how. Look, it's not about the legacy of one man. It's about the legacy that represents the entire world.
Yeah.
You can do it, Sam. You can make a change here. Yeah. And you're the best man for it.
And this is where I thought this is the conversation with him and Bucky was like, wait, like this is where the most you get to see who Sam really is, because when he gives advice to Bucky about living his life, you're like, see, Sam is the everyman.
Yeah. They have a good conversation at the end of it as well, because they do point out, look, they're not friends themselves.
No.
They had a friend in common.
Yeah.
But now without that friend, they're just two guys.
Yeah. Which is true.
Yeah. But I think at this point, this is where they suddenly become two good friends.
Yeah.
You know? Because they're like, oh, we're cohorts. Not cohorts. We're co-workers. We're associates. But they're actually now...
friends.
Like a brotherhood
between
them both. Because it's like, we're both trying to hold up the legacy of the guy who's not here anymore.
Yeah. He's on the moon.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
And so this is where Sam goes through his Rocky 4 training montage.
Yeah. Which was amazing. And
Yeah.
cheesy.
He
But
started doing unnecessary flips.
yeah.
Catching the shield is like, yeah, you don't need it. What?
Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. And then the flag smashers are like, you know what? We're just gonna go to the government, the GRC in New York.
Yeah.
We're gonna bomb that. We're gonna do what we need to get hostages and force the world to change around us. And we're gonna have Batroc, our man George St. Pierre, as our backup to help. And he's like, no, I don't want none of your business. I do want to
kill Falcon.
Yeah. So it's fair enough. And at the end credits, midway the end credits, you have our boy John Walker.
Yeah, man, my boy.
Creating a replacement shield from whatever metal. I want to say whatever metal it is because we don't actually know what metal it is.
It was a crappy metal. We know that.
It was metal.
Yeah.
The problem is it's not vibranium.
No.
And when you say it's crappy, it's just because it took damage.
Yeah.
It took realistic damage. And then they can't do all the physics-defying stuff that actually the shield can. So yeah, it was rubbish in that respect. So from the last episode, Sam with his new comics-accurate Captain America uniform.
You know what's funny about all this? He put on the suit sooner than I thought he was going to.
Oh, yeah?
Because literally, I thought, okay, halfway through, I thought the episode wasn't going to start the way it did, like literally straight into what was going on. I thought there'd be like a bit where he's still like him and Haring where we should do it, and then he puts it on.
Yeah. I wanted to say the first appearance of Sam as Captain America should be in one of these big sequences.
Yeah.
Right? And like you say, you could have actually Sam Wilson normally about in the first couple of minutes or a few minutes or whatever. But here, because they ended the previous episode of the attack on the GRC in New York.
Yeah.
Well, his first appearance kind of had to be, because the Captain America. So they did actually leave it out for. They set it back for like not right away. It's like they hold up a little bit for suspense because you gotta get Bucky in there first.
Yeah.
And you only hear Sam on the communicator.
Yeah.
And then when he flies in there, on the outside first, then you can see all, the colors of the uniform. Because once he comes into the GRC building, it's red lighting.
Yeah.
He's gonna fight Kane or Bray Wyatt. So the uniform color looks a bit funny.
Yeah.
Not funny. You can distinguish the colors, but just red lighting is a bit. Yeah. The first showing should be on where you can see everything really, really at an optimal level. Anyway, I think the costume looks really cool.
Yeah, no, it's really comic accurate. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I like this. I like this.
And as he should, his first fight in there is with Batroc, who is like, I thought actually he was gonna have a more easier way with Batroc because of it. He's highly armored now.
Yeah.
Or we don't know exactly whether there's vibranium weave in the actual suit itself.
Yeah.
But the wings are definitely upgraded. Yeah. So I thought he was going to deal with Batroc a bit more, just to and even KO him or something like that at some point. Just be like, okay, he's stepped up and now he's Captain America. Even though he does barge Batroc through and he does win, it's like, Batroc was putting him on the back foot a couple of times, like. But it's like, okay. He didn't deal with Batroc as quickly as Steve Rogers' Captain America, but man can handle himself.
Yeah.
And he's just an ordinary guy as well, so it kind of makes sense why it would be a bit longer.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I like the way they kind of writ Sam to do the helicopter rescue.
Yeah, that was cool.
So he had something to do away from the actual fight where Winter Soldier... Okay, so they put all the GRC guys into a van to get them out of the GRC. But then they realize it's a trap.
Yeah.
And Bucky then chases after them with a motorcycle. So he's had to take on like 5 super soldiers by himself.
Yeah.
Even previous episodes, a couple of them got eliminated. So there's only 5 left.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, Bucky, how you gonna manage that? Because when they swarm you before, because you're just waiting, you're thinking, okay, so if Sam can deal with his end, he can help Bucky, who's gonna get manhandled by 5 guys. And I do like it, but it does show the difference as well because between trained and untrained. Because Bucky is charging at them on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Where they're driving the opposite way, and they got to move barricades, so they came out of the van, and then one guy sees Bucky coming out at him, driving at him, and he just kind of freezes on spot.
Yeah.
And Bucky crashes, like tips the motorcycle, crashes into the barricade, and then Bucky himself spears the guy from like dives off straight into the guy, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. It makes sense because this guy as well, this flag smasher, ordinary guy, he is a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
He wouldn't move, he couldn't move. I'm thinking in my head, move guy, but I realised, he's not going to be able to. He hadn't experienced this stuff before. Like a guy just diving straight at him.
Yeah, you're like, it's nothing. It's not something that happens every day. So you're like, hey, what's this? Oh, that's what he's doing. But by that time, it's done.
Yeah. And I think, Bucky's handling himself quite well against 5 of them, even though he's getting beat up. But when you're fighting 5 guys who are on your equal level,
you're going to get beat up.
With less experience, you do well to just kind of hang on.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Carly Morgenthau's like, give him something to do.
Yeah.
Burn that set of hostages. No, set the van on fire. One of the vans on fire.
Yeah.
Because we don't need everyone.
This is you're like, and they're like, wait, what? You want to kill people? Okay.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, exactly. So Bucky's then distracted, obviously, by the van on fire, and then they try to get away in the other van. But John Walker comes on. He shouts, "Carter Morgenthau," because he's got for his revenge with his scrap metal shield.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh no, man, it's gonna get crazy now. But yeah, he comes in there and he does pretty well as well.
Yeah.
Except that obviously when he throws the shield and Carly somehow does a parkour flip, taekwondo flip kick to the shield.
Yeah.
And it just bounces and nothing happens. And he's like, okay. Yeah, because there's no vibranium, you know. But first of all, how's her timing so good?
Yeah, exactly. For someone who has no training, but whatever. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say she's got some sort of parkour ability because later on she's doing stuff that an ordinary person, even without training, wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John Walker's fighting all these guys as well. And he's doing really, really good. Because now he's got their physical abilities.
Yeah.
Except that because he's like punching one guy, dealing with another guy and everything. But when there's too many of them.
Yeah, when the swarm mentality kicks in, he can't really do much.
Yeah. So Bucky rips the door off the car, the car in the end. And I think does he get speared down
into a construction site.
Building. Yeah, exactly. So they fall onto several floors down.
Yeah.
And he's fighting the one guy while John Walker's fighting another set of guys up top there. Which he's actually managed to knock down because then he's like, Carly, I'm coming for you, sister.
Yeah. And
she just basically, she's trying to fight him, and he just walks right into every single one of the attacks. Well, not literally walks into one of the attacks, but she gives him front kicks and punches and stuff, and he just tanking them, you know?
Yeah.
Just stalking, like Jason style.
Mm.
And then she tries to run, and when I say this is where she does parkour stuff, because she's slipping and sliding across into the building construction site to get away from him.
Sweet, yeah.
And then when it gets in a more confined area, because he's using his shield and stuff like that, but he's playing on her field because she knows how to move around here, and he doesn't know how to. His fighting is not for such an enclosed space, so I can see why she's getting an advantage.
Yeah,
she's fighting like Spider-Man. He's fighting like the Hulk, essentially.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah. So then she gets into a car, one of the jeeps, the last leftover jeep. And she tries to drive it down the construction site, and she dives out. It catches on something, one of the poles.
Yeah.
And then John Walker's like looking at her, getting away, looking at the van, and you're thinking, John Walker, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, and then this will redeem himself.
Get the van, leave her.
Yeah, because then Bucky's like, and then you see the van sort of falling and stuff, and Bucky was like, what do I do? Because obviously he's still fighting these.
Oh, well, he's dealt with the one guy at that point because even though let's say he was fighting the guy, he dealt with him and he's looking up and he's thinking, I'm thinking, Bucky, you can't catch that with your one arm. Right?
I thought he was gonna jump up this and then all that stuff.
But it's way too high as well. He'd have to proper clamber.
Yeah.
By that point, the van might have gotten, but he's like looking up there, going, "Damn, if these people fall, they're dying."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then for the tension, the van slips.
Yeah.
And then it stops, and then it pulls back, and my boy John Walker's got the hold of the van he's putting up, and he's let go of he's dumped his metal shield at that point.
Yeah.
And it is beat up. It is beat up to hell. So he's trying to pull the van up, and then like I say, the rest of the Flag Smashers just swarm him, and it's like he's fighting them off while trying to, and not successfully as well. He's taking hits while he's trying to pull a van up. And then eventually what happens is they just charge him, and he falls down the construction site area as well. And they're like, that van's gone. Those people are dying. And they're going to fall on us as well. War finished. Except that it doesn't, because Sam's there with his Falcon suit.
Yeah.
After dealing with a helicopter and rescuing the hostages there, he just comes in just in time for the super dramatics and theatrics and pushes the van up.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah. And then the Flag Smashers run. And by this point, John Walker's got his head in the game.
Yeah.
So the Flag Smashers converge and they run off. And Sam's tracking them because he's got this Falcon suit thing. He can track where they are.
Yeah.
Their footsteps.
Yep.
And they split route. So John Walker starts going one way, and Bucky's like, "I got this, right?"
Yeah.
So in the sense of, I think it was more like, I got a plan. Not only that, but I can take. John's all right. We can work with him.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, though, for the plot's sake convenience, you don't know who went in which direction.
No.
Sam just happens to go in the direction that Carly went into. So I guess by footsteps, you can probably work out what the group went here and the one person went there. But how do you know who went where specifically? Anyways, Sharon Carter, we learn at this point that Carly's in a secluded area in the construction site.
Yeah.
And Sharon Carter pops out, and Carly's like, "You gave us the serum to be your backup, right?
Yeah.
You can't control this no more."
And this is when you find out she is the power broker.
Yeah, but she's behind it all along.
Yeah.
We don't really find out specifically at this point, but I think she's bitter at the government as well.
Yeah, and it makes sense why she would go this way. It's like, they did kind of screw her over big time.
Us comic traditionists think, okay, maybe there's some other thing going on because Agent 13 is not specifically a bad guy.
Yeah.
In the comics, but hey, this is the MCU. They can kind of do what they want.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be they might well be backlash though if they make it go too far.
Yeah.
Because he's always been like a good guy shield agent thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, Batroc pops up as well and goes, Sharon Carter, we both got guns to Carly Morgan here, yeah?
Yeah.
But I want my money. I want 4 times what you want, where you're going to pay me because this is so much trouble.
Yeah.
She goes, no. She shoots Batroc. Carly shoots Sharon Carter. Batroc doesn't shoot anybody, just flops on the floor.
Yeah, dead.
By this point, Sam hears the gunshots. He comes over there and he sees Carly shooting at Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, look, man, Carly, you cannot cause any more trouble right now.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really fight her.
No, because she wants him to fight her, and he's like, I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah, she wants him to maybe beat her to death or whatever, be a martyr or...
Yeah, for her cause, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and she doesn't really want to kill Sam specifically, even though now he is the symbol of America. It's like there was some connection between the two.
Yeah.
In the sense that, I understand what you're going through and stuff. So as much as she wanted to kill John Walker because he was a faceless minion to her,
yeah,
she can't do the same with Sam.
No.
Because they kind of we're kind of fighting the same battle, but not. Oh, well, okay, no, we have themes of the same things we're fighting for.
Yeah.
Except in different ways. That's the best way to put it. So that's why he doesn't want to fight. He still thinks it could talk her down.
Yeah.
But when he gets into trouble because he is... she's trying to kill him, right? Yeah. Well, not necessarily she's trying to damage him. And then she decides, it's not going to go my way. I'm going to just shoot him. Sharon Carter, because she only got shot in the stomach, goes for kill shots, by the way, on Carly.
So and Carly did.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam gets upset. He's like, "Oh, but I could have talked her out of this."
We could have changed the world together.
Yeah.
No, they didn't go that far. John Walker and Bucky trapped the Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
By tricking them. It would have been a cool fight, by the way, if it was like, because I think at that point there was like 3 flag smashers.
No, it was 4. It was 4.
Yeah. But then John Walker and Winter Soldier, they would have probably just destroyed the flag smashers. There wouldn't be much of a fight between them at that point.
Yeah.
But what they did was trick them into a certain area, and then they got the military to pull guns up, and it's like, you flag smashers, you can die right here. Oh no, you have to give up because you're gonna die.
Yeah.
It's no other way to go.
And these guys wouldn't murder anyone in one way, so it was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. They give up.
Yeah. And John Walker's like, talking about mercy.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is where he's kind of turned that leaf.
Yeah.
Back to, he for the stuff he caused before, he's like, like you say, he wouldn't go too far.
Yeah.
But far enough that you're thinking, oh, maybe he's not. We shouldn't side with him. However, they flip the switch here, and it's like, he's still a good man.
Yeah. He's redeemable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is where Sam walks up, like, okay, puts Carly's body down, like, and he flies out around to the front of the building where all the hostages are, all the GRC and everyone's clapping and stuff like that. Yo, he's Captain America.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, look, man, you guys have to come up with a solution, because look what this girl caused because she had enough followers, enough believers. You are the government.
Yeah.
Right?
You have power.
You can make change, and not the same way this girl was making change. As much as she was incorrect to do it the way she did, she felt she was cornered and had to, because she had no actual connections.
Yeah.
You guys
have all the connections in the world. Literally, you are the world.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was like, good on him, because he's given the vibe of Captain America, or like stand up for the right thing. Yeah. Because this is where his I don't want to say his final transition, but more like, he stepped up to the plate and he's knocking it out of the park. Yeah. He deserves the title.
Yep. You're like, he is Captain America.
Yeah. And when the rest of the Flag Smashers are getting driven away to the raft, with some of the followers, like, they still got some followers. So one of the followers was one people, one world. Oh, one world, one people, right?
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
And you're thinking, all right, they're gonna, and the Flag Smashers nodding their head like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're gonna be in this
sequel,
in whatever
right?
comes next. Yeah.
Except they get blown up by Zemo's butler. I was like, oh, Zemo, because then they report on the radio, and Zemo's smiling in his cell, and I was like, Zemo, you the man. You are just so cunning. So sly. Our boy John Walker again gets a better form-fitting uniform, because it's the knockoff Captain America uniform was a looser fit. Yeah. This seemed to, I don't want to say, they must suit, or however they molded it, it was tighter. Yeah. So it looked better on him now. And they painted the stripes as well, the white stripes in it. So the color scheme was better. Yeah. And I know he was like, it's black. Yeah, it's the same suit, but black. Yeah. Realistically speaking, I would have thought, okay, maybe they should have had contestants maybe say so. No, it's not black. It's just a really dark blue. Something like that. So it's still red, white, blue, and it still fits the US agent color scheme, the USA. Yeah. Yeah. But, because on screen, it's still going to come off as black. It don't really matter how dark blue it is. I just thought, as black is kind of, I suppose depending on how they're going to do it, if he goes to like the Wet Works division or, that sort of stuff, fair enough. But they've got him in the route where they can. However, they want to decide that they want him to go. Yeah. I would have liked he had an empty section on the top part of his uniform where his A star used to be.
No, it was still there, but it was black.
It was black. Yeah, but because it merged into the black. I mean, if they had a white outline or something like that, just to make it pop a bit more. Yeah. It would have stood out better. Yeah. But yeah, so Sam Wilson goes to Isaiah Bradley and goes, look, man, I'm the Captain. I'm Captain America now. I did it for I can represent everything.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Bradley's like, yeah, you can. You sure can.
You proved it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I know I said it kind of. This might have sounded a bit sarcastic, right? But just more like Isaiah Bradley, like, you know what? You're right. I was wrong. It's like,
no, it wasn't I was wrong, but you sort of changed my opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's when Sam's like, "Hey, get dressed. I want to take you somewhere." And then,
first of all, when he said "get dressed," he didn't mean like he was like Isaiah Bradley's in a robe or naked or anything like that.
Just like,
no, he's just like
smart
he was doing gardening.
Yeah. So basically, say clean up, not get dressed.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they go to the Smithsonian, where the Captain America exhibit is, and then Sam's got him to do an exhibit of, for Isaiah Bradley and the others that were in the same program he was. So now America knows that he was a thing. And
which is kind of tricky because if this dude was hidden for 30 years, right? And then also he after he come out was claimed to be dead and got away, then you're like, okay, well, now you kind of exposed him, kind of.
You can't expose him, but the government can't do nothing now, can they? Because
that's true.
They don't want to bring bad light to themselves now, innit? So,
I suppose you had them in the corner at that point. But let's be fair. The exhibit never said that Isaiah Bradley is still alive or anything like that. They didn't know what. As far as the government was concerned, he's dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of brought out their dirty secrets. However, you would have thought in Captain America: Winter Soldier, where Black Widow let all the government secrets out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, she let S.H.I.E.L.D. secrets out.
That's it, not the government.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. might have not had anything to do with this experimentation stuff.
Yeah.
That might have been the US government, so yeah.
Yeah. So plot hole closed.
yeah, I suppose. Yeah. And then at the very end of this, mid credits, Sharon Carter's getting a full pardon for all the stuff she did in Civil War.
Yeah.
She helped with the flag smashes. She rejoins the CIA, but then, like you say, she's a power broker. She calls on her phone saying, "Yeah, we haven't got any super soldiers anymore, but we all got access to entire government secrets, government tech, government resources." So, yeah. I don't know if she's going to be like a villain for the next episode, next series or movie or whatever, because they're making Captain America 4 now.
Yeah.
But it's just more like...
Who was she talking to?
Yeah, and maybe there's something else behind this. Maybe she's not exactly what she seems.
You know what I'm thinking, and this is me taking a huge leap, and I normally don't do this. She's a Skrull.
She's what? Oh, right, yeah, because they are making the secret invasion thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever read The Death of Captain America?
Yeah, I read it.
Right. So, what's the hypnotist's name? I forgot his name.
I want to.
So in the comic book, Death of Captain America, which happened just after Civil War, the comic version, Sharon Carter shoots Captain America.
Yeah, with a time bullet.
Yeah. Exactly. But she was hypnotized by.
Is it Dr. Faust?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say speculation. Maybe Faust has something to do with this, but like you say, maybe a Skrull as well. There are points where they can pull it back, or maybe she's like just deep cover.
Yeah.
Who knows? But if they want, they could just make her the main bad guy. I'm just saying, from a comic book perspective, as you know, the character, some people were upset that Agent 13 got dealt dirty.
Yeah. But we'll see. Like you said, they can easily pull her back or make her back. It's how they've written it. It can easily go either way.
But it's a great. It's a great show. I never once got bored. There was slower episodes, but they're more character development episodes.
Yeah.
And it can't be all action anyways, because that just makes it meaningless. Now, then it makes the set pieces. I don't want to say generic, but if where there's no story, then it's just like, okay, well. Action for the sake of action.
Yeah, and like you're saying, the slower character-based episodes help build those characters to get to where they were at the end.
Yeah, or even through the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because John Walker's a very complex character and
Yeah.
very well played by Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of things going through this guy's head, like, man, and he's crumbling under pressure. You can just see it. By the way, the acting as well, not because he's verbalizing it, but just pure acting.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
my favorite show so far, I would say. Really
Yeah.
Touched on many
I
points.
say I enjoyed it. I only enjoy it more than some of the Marvel movies, even.
Yeah, no, even I'll agree.
And it is well done in the sense of, if you look at the Captain America movies,
Yeah,
it
sticks that tone. Yeah,
exactly. It's not. I mean, I'd say Civil War is more of a super. That's the super battle thing. But the themes that are running through it.
Yeah,
We're grounded.
Yeah,
makes sense. So why? Okay, as good as Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan were, I'd say some Wyatt Russell's a standout, and Daniel Bruhl as Baron Zemo as well.
Yeah,
When they were on the screen, they made the most of it.
Yeah, they made it.
Any other comments?
No, not really.
Except for like we say, our boy Carl Lumley as I Bradley. He probably had the least screen time of all the major characters,
but he had the most impact.
Exactly.
And it's a really good film series. It wasn't just action; it was like a lot of real life politics in a way that's sort of playing out now, and they dealt with it really well, rather than like I say with some things pandering.
Yeah,
but it didn't pander. It was like, oh wow, this is cool, and me obviously being a person of color, it was good to see a A-list character as a black guy.
Yeah. Well, another one, because you had Black Panther before.
Yeah, another one. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have to wait all the way till Shang-Chi to get my
hopefully more after that as well.
To get my people my dues.
Yeah.
But
we're getting there.
I mean, I would say to people, definitely watch it, because it's not even as long as you might like. When you stack all the episodes together, it moves so quickly you don't even think they're the length they are.
Yeah,
a lot of things do happen, but then again, there's a major set piece at the beginning to show Falcon's abilities.
Yeah,
flying through helicopters, getting chased by missiles, going through the Grand Canyon, and then there's a major set piece for him in his Falcon suit at the last episode as well, where he's doing the helicopter.
Yeah.
But between that, there are more grounded fights.
Yeah, nothing over the top.
Exactly. I think they because they set up the battle in the first episode.
Yeah.
Maybe people were like, in the way that it is, because you kind of throw your budget in your first episode to make it more spectacular.
Yeah.
And down everything else. But it's just like, maybe you shouldn't have started something so spectacular, because if that's the case, then people expect action on this level throughout the entire thing. I'm kind of glad they didn't. Then they didn't need to, because it's just enhanced people find enhanced people.
Yeah.
So they kind of used their budget well. I mean, I want to say it was just use of stuntmen and touching up the wings for certain things. Somehow, Sam has telepathic abilities to tell the wings what to do.
Yeah. I've never
we're going to let that slide, because I mean, as somehow Iron Man managed to do stuff like repulsor rays and all that stuff without actually having to say the words or switch a button or something like that. Sam can make the wings do like shield or encage or stuff like that magically somehow without hands near the trigger. Whatever.
Yeah, cool. All right, I guess.
Yeah. Because he can. Who's to say Wakandan tech doesn't have the mind to metal connection?
Yeah. But definitely watch. Highly recommend.
Yeah, indeed.
So yeah, I guess this is it then. Unless there's anything else you want to say. No.
Looking forward to the next series though.
Yeah, same. Loki.
Or Secret Invasion. Whichever ones kind of come out whenever they come out.
Yeah, I think Loki's next.
The quality of like WandaVision or this thing, it's going to go good.
Yeah.
Loki's a tricky one, because it's not honestly, it's not in continuity or out continuity. It's its own thing completely.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be nice to see where that goes. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
So I've been the US Asian, CY Chong, with my
And
co-host.
and I have been the Black Falcon. Nah, he's Captain America, Carl Charles.
Yeah, that's signing off for this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse.
Yes, and thank you all. Remember, give us a like, share us with a friend, subscribe to the YouTube channel, contact us.
Yeah. Let us know what you liked, what you disliked as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna have different opinions.
Yeah. You know, that's being human. We all have different opinions.
Yeah.
So let us know what you liked, you didn't like, what you thought could have changed, and if what show or Marvel films you're looking forward to next. Let us know. And yeah, so thank you for taking a trip around the multiverse. Bye.
I
And stop.